Yo, what's up, YouTubers? Thanks for watching, checking this out. So we're gonna review the clearing project we did last week in this video, and it was pretty fun. It was cool. Got to bring in the 350G John Deere excavator. It's about an 84,000 pound machine. So a couple of things. This project was a little and every project's different, so to try to say that it was different or unique is not really the best thing to say. But anyways, what happened, this lot, or this acres, I think it's a 10 or a 20 acre lot total on this that they own, but a storm came through last year, and actually this particular lot had a tornado go through, and it just took out like maybe 2 or 3 acres. It didn't touch down, but it was really fascinating. I saw some of the pictures that the homeowner showed me, and it actually took these very strong, healthy maple trees and literally just snapped them off like a twig. So it was pretty interesting to see those pictures. So what was left is all these stumps, these really big, everything was over, I mean there were a couple smaller ones, but everything was over like 30 inches, anywhere from 30-inch diameter stump, probably 48-ish, 4 feet. Yeah, there was a couple of those big ones there. So I had to stump all of it, and there were totally about 40 to 50 stumps that had to go out. So there was a couple ways that someone could go in, a contractor could go in and do this. One, you could go in with a mid-size 30,000 pound excavator, spend 2 days, 3 maybe, and stump it with that machine. That would have been, in my opinion, second best way to go about doing this. The way I did it, I brought in, it's really convenient and easy to go rent this big 350G John Deere excavator. It's really close. Good guys at the rental department there, so it worked out really well. And I had planned that it would have taken a long day. I was, thinking 10 to 12 hours to stump the lot with that machine, even with the big machine. And there's a couple ways you can do this. The way I looked at it is like this. Like, one, you want to go in with the most competitive pricing possible. You want to make money, and you want to give the customer basically their biggest value, their biggest bang for the buck. So how do you do that? Well, you can go in with a mid-sized machine, like I said, 30,000 pound-ish or so, 28 to 35,000 pound machine, excavator, and stump it. You're going to take a couple days in there. So you do that, you're going to spend a couple days, time, labor, basically extra than what you would with a big machine. So you're saving your time right there. You're going in with basically the most efficient piece, the most efficient tool for the job. You look at the comparison between fuel prices. Well, you're going to spend, 100 gallons of fuel in a day with the big one, or you're going to spend 40 to 60 gallons a day with the smaller machine. And you're going to do it for 2 to 3 days. So your overall costs for equipment, at least the fuel side of things, is going to be a wash, because you're going to spend more time and fuel with the smaller machine versus the bigger machine. A couple other benefits with a larger machine for a project like this is the actual reach and transfer, I call it transferability, where you can take the stump that you just pulled, swing it over, and if it's got a 30-foot reach fully extended, right, you've got a 60-foot machine, those stumps, you couldn't even pick those stumps up with a smaller machine. You'd have to like... Probably in this particular site, you'd spend 15 minutes to a half an hour just rolling the stump to get it to the pile, or to the burn pile, to the burn hole. So that's another benefit of using the big machine. You could have also done it with a small machine, and you could have brought in a damn mini and dug them out, but that you would have been there for 2 weeks, maybe not 2 weeks, but at least a week, digging them all out with the mini and doing it that way. So that was another way that you could attempt to do it. But again, like you're looking at time, your time, and what's how much time are you going to bill or propose to bill for the job to the customer. So it's a much more efficient way to just get really the right machine in for the job. And the 350 I thought was going to be a little bit overkill for the job, but honestly, it's an 84,000 pound machine, and some of those stumps, when I was trying to pull them out, like it was lifting the ass end of the machine right up. So it's just it's amazing how much power and how much force it really requires to pull stumps like that. And it was in clay. Most of them were in clay, which made them a lot harder. There were a couple that I found that were in sand. They were a lot easier to pull out. But the ones that were in clay, man, you just had to dig at them for, a couple extra minutes. And that's the thing. Like, I think the longest stump that took me to pull was maybe 10 minutes, trying to dig it out and wrestle it out. And that was it. So it worked out really, really well with the big machine in there. It was just a good deal. So after that, we Harley raked it out. Now here's the other thing. This was it was like, not borderline, but it was also a site where you could have brought in a bulldozer after you pulled all the stumps. You could have brought like a small bulldozer in to grade it all off, right? So you could have done that. We're gonna Harley rake this mess today. Make it look all pretty. A bulldozer, it would have been a rental. I don't know. I spent maybe an extra, probably 2 to 4 hours max in the skid steer, working the ground with the Harley rake or moving stuff around with the bucket than I would have if I would have brought a bulldozer in. So it really, for me, it wouldn't have been an inefficient move to bring in a dozer. It's just better just to spend a few more hours on the skid steer. And it wasn't like tough on the skid steer. It's just more, you had to go over it more times and hit it one direction, hit it another direction, just to get a good mowable grade down for them. They also didn't want, part of the problem you'll run into with stumping a lot like this is you'll end up with the little hanger roots that'll stick up. Anything basically like 1/2 inch or under. Maybe there's an inch ones there that the Harley rake won't chew up, but they'll just either decompose or snip them with a pair of snips after the seed's in and the straw's on, but they'll eventually decompose. The ways to get around that are what I should have done, but I really didn't see it until after I started fine grading, is dig it up more with the excavator and till the soil up. That would have helped make those go away a little bit more and kind of till them and bury them. That's one thing to do. So, you know, you can do it. You can bring in a dozer. You could grade it all off, fine grade it with a dozer. The benefits of the dozer are you're working with like a 7 to a 9 foot blade, depending on the dozer. So you've got a lot wider angle to help make the overall angle and grade of the lot just a little bit better. Again, hit it with the Harley rake. Harley rake 6 feet, 5 feet. I don't know what the Harley rake is. So you just had to hit it more times. And again, that just goes in with, you know, I spent a couple extra hours. It worked out better for me in that situation. The other benefit of having the Harley rake and the skid steer is there were tight spots that only the skid steer could go. You couldn't have gotten a dozer up into a few of the areas where the skid steer, it was even a tight fit for the skid steer. So that was another benefit to just using those two particular machines, meaning the skid steer with the Harley rake and the big excavator in there. So it was a really fun job. I really like these. You don't really have to worry about utilities. You don't have to worry about, I mean, the biggest thing you got to worry about is the drain field, septic system, and the house. Don't hit the house. So that's always kind of nice when you're pulling stumps and digging stuff. You don't have to worry about underground electric. You don't have to worry about really anything, you know, that's under the ground. So that's nice. And there was some overhead power lines, but they were pretty much irrelevant as to where we were working at. So that was really cool there. The thing with land clearing with an excavator is a couple things. I think it's probably one of the most dangerous things you can do operating an excavator, because you've really got to watch. Like if you're pulling a pile of brush to it, you've got to watch these ends. You know, these ends of the trees or the trunks of the trees that you're pulling towards you could flip and fling, and it could come up and break a windshield. I had one time years ago where I can't remember what I was doing. It was when I was working for someone else. But anyways, I was moving some logs or brush or something, and a freaking like 10-inch log came and hit the very bottom of the cab, broke the little bottom window, and it just like scared the shit out of me, and it really woke me up like, holy shit, this is dangerous shit. Because it's so critical when you're moving sticks, branches, trees to like watch the whole entire part of the tree. Otherwise, you are gonna pull a damn branch into the cab, and it could vary. I mean, your basic movement with an excavator is pulling and digging towards you. So you're pulling and digging these, you know, 6,000, 8,000 pound trees, or, you know, 100-pound limb or 800-pound limbs towards you. One of those flings and catches and flops into the cab it could, you know, could easily kill you, if not easily break a bone or do something to that matter. So I think it's one of the most dangerous things, at least when you're digging around utilities. You've got a spotter with you, you've got the utilities located. They're not really, for the most part, under potential pressure, like rubber band style pressure, so that's always nice there. You know, so I really think trees are one of the most dangerous things, but doing tree work, taking down trees with an excavator, I think is also one of the most efficient ways to take down trees, especially if you're going to pull the stumps. Because otherwise, if you have a tree company come in and take down the trees, then you still have to have an excavator come in and pull the stumps, most likely. I mean, basically, if it's over a 10-inch stump, you're going to have someone with an excavator come in and pull them out. A skidder might pop them out, but either way, it's an efficient way to clear a lot with an excavator. So that's why you see a lot of people clearing lots with excavators. It works out really, really well, because you can knock the tree down. Most cases, you just push the damn tree down, cut the stump off, pick the stump, like, you're done. It's good. So that was that. Then we got her all graded off with the Harley rake, and that was good, and seeded it, and that's a wrap. Mulch. chopper. That thing is badass. The bale blower, we blow it about I think it was 36 bales of straw in about an hour and a half. It's so nice. Oh my God, it worked awesome. It's just it's the best way to do it. If you're doing anything over 10 bales of straw, just get a bale mulcher and do it that way. So that's a wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Appreciate you watching. As always, like the video, subscribe, tell me what you guys want to know or see more of in the excavation world. Next week we'll be working on basically it's a full driveway reconstruct, so expect a video on that coming very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.